Welcome to Leading the Follower with your host, Rebecca Benston. Good morning. It's me, Rebecca Benston, back with you for Leading the Follower. I have made it back once again. I think I've finally worked out all the bugs with the recording platform changes that were made, and I should be able to actually do these shows as planned, barring any unforeseen shenanigans that might occur. Let's see if we can make that happen. I hope everybody had a great weekend and that you were able to recharge and to get yourself together for this week. As always, I'm working on about 1,000 things and wanted to make sure that I stopped in to say what was on my mind for this week, and also to let you know that we have some great books in the Higher Ground Books and Media shop that you need to check out. We've got everything from fiction to nonfiction to ministry resources to things that'll get you motivated, things that'll get you organized. We've got some good children's books and devotionals and just uplifting stories that will help you understand that if you are struggling, there is a way out. There's a lot of good testimony in these stories that I think is uplifting. And if you've gone through similar things, they will really resonate with you and help you to see that you're not alone in whatever battle you're fighting. So stop over and see if we have something for you. This week, we are doing free shipping for anything that you buy in the shop. And there is a code on the shop page that will help you get that free shipping. And I believe that code is free shipping 24. Pretty simple. So whatever you get, when you get to the cart page, you would type that into your the little code thing, so that it'll take that shipping charge off for you. So, but we're doing that until I believe the 29th. I think that's the date that it expires, but you should be able to get that all week. And hopefully you're also getting in on the 10% off that we're doing all year long, because it is our 10th year in business. And the way we're celebrating, one of the ways that we're celebrating is by giving you 10% off right off the bat of all of the titles that we offer in the shop. And that is a pretty decent deal, because when you go over to some of the retailers, they're not doing that. And the only way that we actually have to offer those discounts is through our shop. So if you order through the HGBM shop, then you'll get some incentives there. And you can sign up to earn rewards points, which you can also trade in for a percentage off, or I think free shipping is one of the things that will also get you after you've accumulated so many points. So it's a nice deal, and it helps us, and it helps recognize the authors who have contributed, and they've put themselves out there to give you something, to give you hope. And I think that's all I have to say about Higher Ground right now. One thing that I was going to talk to you about, I'm almost at a point where I'm going to call this, thoughts from the treadmill, because when I'm on my treadmill in the morning, when I'm doing my few minutes that I try to do just to keep myself from getting stuck and not being able to walk at all, I have so many thoughts, but it's hard for me to type all of that in as I'm walking. And I try to get that down in a recording as soon as possible, and then listen to that again to see if what I said made any sense. But today I was just thinking about how we all have our little bubbles that we're in. And while we may not feel that we are in a bubble, I think everybody has just a little circle of people that they share things with. And within that circle, we're experiencing, the highs and lows. We have all kinds of different things going on. And some of us are struggling more than others. Some of us are part of someone else's struggle, and that is just as bad sometimes. And we get so caught up in what's going on in that little circle, that little bubble that we're in, that we can't see what's going on outside with the rest of the world. And by the time we're able to tune in and see what's going on outside, um, it may have gotten so chaotic or so negative that we decide to just stay in our little world and not deal with it. Um, what happens when you are trying to heal from something and you go to step outside your bubble and it's too chaotic outside for you to free yourself from the thing that you've been trying to heal from? That was just a question that popped into my mind because I know that we get caught up in dealing with our own traumas and our own little situations that we have. And so, like, for example, um, let's see, if I have something that's not working, like I had a subscription to this meat delivery place. And the last couple's shipments that I got from there weren't so good. And so I just decided I was going to skip it. They had sent an email to me saying, we're getting ready to bill you for this month's shipment. Make any changes now and all that stuff. So I went over to the website when I got the email and I hit the little button that says skip this delivery. Okay. On the website, it says fine, delivery skipped. Your next delivery will be in May or whatever. And so I thought nothing of it. A couple days later, I get a charge in my bank account and it's like, 120 some dollars. So it's a lot of money, and for something you don't want, that really is kind of like very frustrating. So when I got in touch with them, I figured it would be an easy thing, that surely they would have a record that I had hit the skip. And for some reason, I couldn't get anyone to answer me when I emailed. So I emailed a few times, and then they called me and said that I needed to call in for this. And I said, well, I've skipped things before because I've been with them for a little bit, and I have skipped shipments in the past. And you're supposed to be able to do that if you don't want that month's stuff. So I tried to call them when I had a minute. It's very hard for me to take time to call because I am working through the day and I do stuff and I don't have the ability to just be on the phone. So I'm dealing with this and I'm just like, okay, guys, I called, couldn't get anybody to answer the phone. So I waited. I got an email back from them that said, we need to do this over the phone because of whatever. There was really no good reason for it. It was just a real, talking around in circles type of a deal. And I thought, why do I need to do this over the phone if you have the mechanism on your website to do this? And it told me that it was taken care of, and then whatever system you have didn't talk to the other system, and I was charged for this. It should be an easy, don't send me the stuff and give me my money back type of a thing. Well, it wasn't, and it still hasn't been. So this little frustration took up a good day and a half of my energy and my time. And while I was working on this, of course, I wasn't paying attention to things that were going on around me because all of my energy was focused on stopping this current attack. I realize attack is probably a very strong word for this, but it's just an inconvenience and slightly upsetting. It's just It's just dumb. And as of right now, I don't know where it stands because I had a very heated conversation with the customer service person once I did get on. Finally got someone to answer the phone. The man was very rude and basically said, well, it doesn't matter, if you skipped it. So I thought, okay. The thing is, I don't want the product. And if I don't want the product, you can't force me to take the product, especially when the quality is not good. Um, and I tried to explain this to him. And so um, it just did not turn out well at all. I was a lot more upset about it on the phone with him than I wanted to be. And now I have had to file a couple of complaints and probably going to contact my bank today and just tell them to reverse the charges on this because it should have been canceled. Um, and it doesn't even look like they're going to try to send me the shipment, but they took my money and now what? I'm just out $125? Sure. So these are the types of things that will occupy your time and your space and your energy and keep you from focusing on, say, the bigger picture of what's going on around you so that you can't effectively be a part of trying to fix the bigger issues that exist in our world. It's kind of hard to feel like doing ministry or feel like going out and being an activist in one area or another when you're trying to deal with getting money put back in your account when it's been taken for the wrong reasons. So that kind of thing is a deterrent. So here in my little bubble, I was fighting that fight and trying to get that taken care of. And when I finally did look at what had been happening the last couple of days, it was really frustrating because I noticed that several things had gone on in the world that were just more ridiculousness, more stuff that I feel powerless to fix on my own. And so, you retreat back into your bubble and you work on the things that you can work on. And if we're all doing that, then I guess the big they, have us where they want us because we're all too consumed with all of the things that are coming at us to try and fix the root problem. And, in my opinion, if we all would kind of band together and say, you're not doing the things that we put you in office to do. There are too many things that are going on that don't fit what the people would want to have done in our society, and you need to go. We're not even empowered enough to clean house so that we can put new people in who might do what we want them to do overall. And I think that's exactly where they want us. They've got us kind of over a barrel there because they know that we're all in our little bubbles, fighting our little fights and trying to recover from illness and injury and, poverty and lack and all of the things that come at us on a daily basis. And we don't have what we need physically and emotionally and psychologically in some cases to get out there and fight the battle the way we need to. We don't even know where to start because we're bogged down with this other stuff that is, in the scheme of things, fairly insignificant. And they tie up our resources, our physical, mental, and emotional resources so that we can't look past where we're at and do what we need to do. And that's a shame. So, that's what's been on my mind today as I have thought about, looking outside the bubble and trying to figure out how to proceed. And then not feeling good in the first place, that's a whole different matter that often has you um, just feeling powerless and not able to to make any changes that will be beneficial to anybody. And you start to lose confidence when you can't even plan um, to attack those things that you know are wrong. But I was thinking about that. I've been thinking about that stuff quite a bit. And I thought the one thing that we need the most is hope. The one thing that we need to be focused on is how to stay hopeful in times that seem hopeless. Um, because there really are things out there that are trying to keep us in a state of hopelessness. And it's one after another. It never stops, it seems like. Once you get done fighting one battle, there's another one that pops up in its place, whether it's minor or major, it's just another thing. And it does get old. But if we do the simple thing that the Bible tells us to do, there is nothing that we can't overcome. If we keep our eyes on God and Jesus, the idea that we're here to tell people who He is, to point people to God, to show His goodness, to help people understand how He heals us and what He can do. As our Creator, we need to always look toward what He would like for us to do. I think the more we get distracted with these other little things, the more we spend our time looking at this problem or that problem, the less we look at Him, the less we acknowledge Him. Even, you might even say, God, help me with this problem or whatever, but you're distracted by the problem. And that's the key. When we're able to be distracted, the devil's able to come in and get a foothold. And then there we are trying to figure out, how do we get back to even wanting to know what God wants us to do? So that's where we need to maintain our hope and our faith. And we need to keep looking toward Him for guidance and for the answers to the questions that we have about what we're going through. And as long as we can always come back to that center, to that focus, there is nothing that we can't overcome. No matter what it is, if we come back from worrying about all the little things on either side of whatever thing we're looking at, and we focus on God and His goodness and how He wants us to be successful, He wants us to be healthy and happy and safe, and He wants us to have a good life, then we have everything we need right in front of us. And that's what's important, is that we never take our eyes off God. So, as I go into this day, I have to remind myself, whatever battles come up, God will help me fight them. Whatever happens, they can't keep me from praying. They can't keep me from asking God to intervene on my behalf or on your behalf. My connection to God is something that nobody else can sever. Only me. I'm the only one who can just stop talking to Him. which would be really dumb. But the biggest block to your connection with God is you. All the other things are just noise. So I hope as you go through your day today, you will try to sort out all the noise and keep tuned in to what God has to say to you and how He would have you go today. And just don't forget who's in charge, and don't forget who has the power in every situation. And keep hope in the front of your mind, because that's what they're trying to take from you. And you can't let that happen. That belongs to you. And God wants you to have that. That's His gift to you. And it's a good one. I'll have more to say about hope and how to stay hopeful in the coming weeks. I'm going to be working on some things with that. And I'll be sharing that on our blog and on our podcast here. And I hope that you will, no pun intended by saying hope, I hope that you will tune in and just hear what I have to say about that. Have a great week, and I will talk to you again on Friday. God bless. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to check out our website and blog. The blog is at www.leading-the-follower.com. Thanks and God bless.